Hello everyone, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead here. Today's not exactly a day for celebration for us, kind of a sad day. We had to bury two of our rabbits from our breeding stock. One of our rabbit mothers died from bloat yesterday, and our main breeding sire hasn't been in the best of health over the last couple months. He's kind of deteriorated and declined. But it's due to old age, not because of disease or anything. He was pushing about 8 years old and was really struggling with making sure that he wasn't urinating and defecating all over himself. He's getting a little lame in his hind quarters. So today we took a few minutes just to remember them and to lay them to rest under a river birch over along our property line. But in the midst of the sadness, as homesteaders and those who raise animals, we have a responsibility. And number one is to provide a safe and clean environment for the rest of our animals that are here. So anytime you are between animals on your homestead, it's important to go ahead and take time to clean the area before you put any new rabbits in, or any animals, goats, cows, horses. Not necessarily because the animals died of disease, but it's important just to keep disease on, always be on the offense against disease rather than on the defense. So now that we're two cages empty, we're going to go ahead and use this opportunity to sanitize our cages, give a good cleansing and wash down of the bunny barn, and just make sure that we create the best environment possible to be raising and practicing our animal husbandry. So today we're just going to go over the process with you of cleaning, what we do to clean our cages. It's not going to be a long video, it's going to be a pretty short one actually. But anytime that we get to a situation where we're dealing with empty cages, the best thing to do is to clean them before we fill them. So step number one is to remove the cages from the bunny barn. We do not plan to fill these too soon, but we are going to be getting them filled soon because we do have some breeders to move into the bunny barn now. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a hose, we're going to wash them down, and then I have a weed torch that we use, and we're going to use those and just burn off any hair, urine deposits, fecal deposits, and just make sure that everything gets cleaned. Now, word of caution, you want to make sure that anytime you're heating galvanized metal that you don't get it too hot, because it does, number one, you're going to ruin the galvanization, which is going to make it more susceptible to rust, and number two, you're going to release zinc oxide fumes into the air. You don't want that to happen. Those can be poisonous. So when you do this, we're going to make sure you're out in the open, but also you don't want to heat your cages up to the point where they begin to discolor. Okay, so once you've got them washed and you burn them down with the torch, next step is pretty simple. You just want to spray them down with a mild solution of bleach water, and then let them dry in the sun. Once that's done, go ahead and put them back in the bunny barn, and you should be good to go. I want to encourage you and just take this moment to point out that your best defense is a good offense when it comes to disease in your rabbitry. The first thing you want to make sure you practice is good biosecurity. You wouldn't just let somebody walk in your house with muddy shoes, and you should do the same thing with your bunny barn or your rabbitry. You want to make sure that anybody who comes into your rabbitry, make sure they thoroughly wash their hands, make sure they're not wearing shoes or boots that they may have worn at another rabbitry. And most importantly, anytime you're going to bring new stock, breeding stock, into your property, you want to house them at least 25-30 feet away to start until you're confident that you have healthy stock that you've brought in. We're looking at anywhere from 20 to 30 days in order to make sure that they're not bringing or carrying any diseases with them that could potentially spread to your herd. you do these three things, make sure that your rabbitry is clean and sanitized, and make sure you practice good biosecurity in all aspects of your raising of your rabbits. You should have a pretty successful rabbitry in means of not having rabbits dying off due to viral or bacterial disease. Now, like us, you might have a situation where you're experiencing some bloat issues. You want to make sure you really watch your feed. Make sure you're not feeding anything that's moldy, wet, no moldy or wet hay, no moldy or wet feed. Also inspect your feed bags every once in a while, whether it's your corn, or you shouldn't be feeding too much corn to rabbits anyway, but in the winter it's not too bad. Whether it's your grains, sunflower seeds, whatever it is that you feed your rabbits, you want to also inspect your bags every once in a while. Make sure that you don't have any mouse intrusion. The urine from mice can be toxic to your rabbits. The other thing you want to make sure you do is, if you can, store your feed in galvanized trash cans. That's going to keep vermin from being able to get into your feed and causing potential biosecurity issues within your rabbitry. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today. I know that it hasn't been the most fun video, but we hope it was informative for you. If it was, if you found it helpful in your rabbitry journey, I just ask you to go ahead, like this video, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Also check us out on Facebook at Independence Acres Homestead. And as always, God bless.